time. So the first thing I did was go ahead and do the planner, the e-GMAT planner, and I believe that was an absolutely fantastic tool. And I put in my current abilities and what I'm aiming for, and just the structured approach, just seeing it in front of you, it really helps. So I was able to see that I need to put in 2 hours per day on a weekday and 5 hours per day every weekend. So I could see my path laid out in front of me and I had something to aim for. So that definitely helped.
Okay.
Second part that I found counterintuitive, but at the same time I think really helped my success was the fact that e-GMAT suggests that you go with your strengths first and not your weakness. So I would count quants as my weakness, and that's what I had in mind, that I need to get cracking on quants, get that out of the way, and then I can concentrate on verbal. But when I saw the video and it told me that go with your strengths first, lock that down, and then work towards your weaknesses, I think I trusted the process, I went with that, and I think it paid off. It paid off in the way that I believe my alpha came from the verbal section. If you look at my score, I think Q49 as an Indian, it's still considered at par at best. So I think
it is a bit above par, but it's not excellent. It's V41 is excellent, yes.
Yeah, so that's where my differential came from. And I think if I had done it the other way around, I might have been just above par in quants and maybe not above par in verbal. So that definitely helped. So I think it's quite well laid out. I think the course structure, the way it builds you into the concepts and sort of lays down the foundation. And again, it's about moving up the, I think, value chain. First, you start with something as simple as a sentence, and then you build into paragraphs, and then finally you have a comprehension. So I think the way that builds is really nice, and it also helps you along the way. So while I was doing critical reasoning, my mind kept looking at sentences, trying to understand what impact each sentence is having on the paragraph, as well as, the subject verbs, who is impacting what, and things like that. And then obviously critical reasoning builds into reading comprehension. You understand each paragraph individually, you absolutely will understand the entire comprehension. To that, I mean, that was an absolute lifesaver. I think that was a pleasant surprise. I don't know if I missed it in the package or I wasn't aware of it, that there was such a service being offered by e-GMAT. But receiving that email about 2 weeks before my exam, when I was totally scatterbrained, I still had a couple of portions left. And the email comes in, I have a chat with Aditi, and she says that she's gone through my profile and she sees where I'm at. And she tells me that, okay, you've got verbal in place. You don't need to worry about that for the moment. Concentrate on quants and go about it in this manner. So, and she told me at that point that I still had advanced topics left in quants, like entirely. She says, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Concentrate on what you've already covered. It's okay if you don't cover a few topics, and advanced topics is probably not as important as some of the other ones. So just hearing that sort of gave me a sense of calm, that okay, it's not all lost. I still have time to turn this around and make the best of it. So, and then she shared the 3-step process with me, the preparation, and then the
learning concepts and methods, cementing,
cementing and test readiness. So again, that's something that I hadn't looked at earlier, and going back and doing that in my weak areas really helped me bring my score up. Yeah, so I had already done a large part of Rhenium for verbal, but I wasn't as much into it for quants. So she told me go back to the concepts where you still feel lacking in number properties and algebra and things like that, and select the custom quiz option. Don't go with the ability quizzes. Select custom quizzes, and then start working your way up from medium quizzes to hard questions and just upwards from there. So I think with the ability quizzes, they were very helpful in verbal, but sometimes what I found in quants was that seeing a low score in that sort of was disheartening, and not, I mean, it's just a psychological thing. While I know that I'm still studying and I still have time to improve, just seeing that sometimes doesn't feel so great. Then when I went back to the medium quizzes and I was doing much better, so one thing, it reinforced that feeling of doing better. And secondly, I was still building up my concepts. I was still building up the basic foundation to take on the harder questions. So that's what I did with Scholar Rhenium, and sort of went through number properties, algebra, geometry, and that's how I worked my way through Scholar Rhenium for quants. Obviously, one of the schools that I'm looking at is Cornell. I think that's definitely a choice that I have in mind, and it sort of fits nicely into my relationship, so definitely. But some of the other colleges that I'm looking at is Duke, NYU, and yeah.
Good.